We're all going to burn because of science, according to comedian Gavin Matz. Now, let me just tell you, first of all, I just want to share this because this dude is funny. I'm not saying, I don't know if he's Christian. I don't know where he's at with the Lord, anything like this. I just found this video. My buddy Rufat actually posted it. And I'm a fan of like stand-up because I think stand-up's great. Just like the ability to make people laugh. But then he makes some points, and I don't think he made them intentionally, by the way, that are amazing when it comes to the parallels between religion and some of the recent developments of science. Go ahead.
Science? No.
So I don't believe in science.
Great, I just missed the whole line again. Well, Chris, go with the first one.
No, I don't like that. I don't believe in science. I don't like that science that they're pushing on us. I'm tired. I just woke up. It's 11. It's just more science. And science is sad now. Everyday science is just like, you're going to die. Like that science now. And then science will be like, also, the universe, so vast, your death, insignificant. I like science when they're like, put your fingers in this slime, it's goopy.
So the point about you're going to die, oh, and by the way, your death completely insignificant because the universe is so vast. Yeah. What a great observation of like a secular materialist point of view. Like that's such an astute observation. Yeah. Right? Is like, yeah. Like you're going to die. Oh, and by the way, you're completely insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Like there's no purpose for you being here. Right. And then he goes, I like science when you put your hand in and you feel it's
just like, simple science.
Science. Yeah,
that's why I like goopy. I like feeling around in there. I like the viscosity of things. Like I like science when they're like, we're going to throw a watermelon and an anvil off a roof. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch that. I didn't know anvils were real.
Also, what is an anvil?
I think an anvil is what they use for foraging in blacksmithing. It's like, it's the thing that you hit on. Tung,
okay.
Tung.
All right.
I could be wrong about that. I should probably...
Should we Google that?
Let's fact check it.
Let's fact check that. After the incredible success of our Bless God prayer journal, many of you guys began to ask for something that had a planner. And so we combined our Bless God prayer journal with a brand new leadership planner that jam-packs the same things from our prayer journal with a planner, goal setting, leadership meeting, and notes. With the next pages, you can see different sections right along here of this leadership planner where you can start out with actionable goals, 12 months of calendar, our original prayer journal prompts, our leadership journal with the proven problem solution framework, and of course, just free write notes. This leadership planner is based off of Matthew 25:14-30, which of course is the parable of the talents. The vision of the planner is to help you make the most of your time, talent, and treasure. Head over to blessgod.shop and get yours today. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace. So he's giving this example of an anvil and a watermelon being thrown off a roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they throw it off same time. And then it hits the ground at the same time. And you're like, what? How'd they hit? Because they gotta be different weight. And they're like, no, that's just science. I'm like, okay, I like that. But now science is just like, you're gonna burn. You're like, in hell? And they're like, no, just here.
Okay, pause it. You're gonna burn in hell, no here.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. What an astute observation. What is all the modern climate science telling us?
Yeah, the world is going to heat up and we're going to lose our cool temperatures and we're all going to die.
And we're all going to die. We're all going to burn.
We're going to implode.
Right. Now, the funny thing is like when you actually look at the models that we're talking about, you dig into it, we're talking like hundreds of years removed usually in terms of coastal cities, right, changing. And what I'm not saying is climate isn't changing and all that. Like I'm not making that argument. But what I am saying is I do find it similar language being used about an impending apocalypse, Armageddon scenario where you're going to be wiped out.
Wow, sounds familiar.
Sounds a lot like the book of Revelation, right?
Huh.
Interesting parallels. Go ahead.
Just here, just next to everybody you've ever loved. Like, oh, that sounds drastic. We should do something about this. They're like, it's too late. I don't believe in science.
Right? It's too late.
That's great.
It's too late. right? But that is the conclusion of some of the environmental justice approaches to these things. And the fact that people don't see the parallels of like, you're going to burn, and you're going to burn in hell. The end of the world is coming. Jesus is coming back. You know, like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost like a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Of what's being communicated. The difference in Christianity is at least we're like, hey, and like repent and believe, and like
your life is significant.
Your life is significant, and you do have purpose, and God does love you, and there is meaning, right? And so
and it's not too late.
Yeah, and it's not too late. And it's not too late. And it's not too late, right? Where the current climate justice model creates, in my opinion, a very nihilistic world. The secular materialist environmentalist justice paradigm creates a very nihilistic world and paradigm of things, and it creates additional layers of heroes and villains, which is what me and Pastor Mike Signorelli talked about. Heroes and villains, meaning like people who hold this value are villains, and people who hold this value are heroes. And the thing about all this environmental stuff, if it's all true, he's also right in that you can't even do anything about it.
Yeah.
And this is me as a guy who owns my last car was a Prius. My car now is a Tesla. I have solar panels. I have solar batteries. I don't take up resources. I actually create the opposite of the climate emission thing or whatever they're talking about. You know why? Because it's just practical and pragmatic for me, right? Like, because I could be off the grid and I don't have to pay an electricity bill and rerun a lot of electricity here. And so this notion that when you actually look at their models, there is nothing that we can do about it. And anything that's proposed about it isn't going to move the needle. Why? Because America puts out like 15% of the world's emissions. You know where the rest of the emissions are coming from? In developing nations that are trying to pull themselves out of poverty through dirty energy. So he's right. There's nothing. And so what do you want? You want the earth to get hotter, and maybe 100 years from now, there's going to be issues around certain coastal cities as the waters rise? Or do you want hundreds of millions of people starving? Mm-hmm. What's going to change those hundreds of millions of people starving? They're not getting Teslas and solar panels. It's not happening, not to mention the ethical dilemmas of even how we're sourcing the batteries. I don't know how this turned into a climate rant.
Even I know, for real, but even the environmental damage that sourcing the batteries has is greater than the gasoline.
Right. And no one wants to talk about that.
It's all net negative.
It's all negative.
Except for self-driving. That's a net positive.
Right. Self-driving? No, that's a net negative too. Self-driving is trash.
There's nothing
as a person who owns a Tesla and has had full self-driving, it's extremely overrated. Man. Okay, all these things are extremely overrated. Private jets, extremely overrated. It's all overrated. So I'm curious how many people, because this was shared by Rufat. Rufat is like an agnostic now. He was an atheist. He was a Christian rapper turned atheist comedian. He's now an agnostic. I've had him on the channel multiple times. I really love Rufat. Me and Rufat could have been the cool version of David Wood and not apostate prophet. But Rufat wanted to be, he a little too combative to Christianity. Where the apostate prophet just kind of goes along with everything David Wood says. He's very agreeable.
Like, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. He's like an atheist, but he's very agreeable. And so we could have been that. But nevertheless, I say that to say that I wonder if the agnostic, the atheist, the person in the super duper liberal town acknowledge the obvious things that are being the obvious conclusions of their worldview, which is extremely nihilistic, lacks hope, and all of these could. So, hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think, and be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.